What's up, everybody? Super early in the morning. It's like daybreak right now. We just got to Goldsboro, and I'm so early that the parks have not come to open the gates yet. So I'm gonna go grab some breakfast real quick because I still haven't eaten breakfast yet, and then we are gonna go and do some practice and get to showing you guys a little bit of the course, see what it looks like now that it's wintertime. Alright, gotten warmed up. It's about 28 degrees out here right now, which is pretty cold. You can see I'm bundled up. But it's really important to get really nice and loose, stretched out before you start around in the cold, especially as cold as it is today. So, standing on hole 1's 2 pad, 253 feet already. Looking at the hole, I can tell there's a lot more open lines. A lot of people take this route up the right side of the fairway instead of going straight down that little tiny gap in the middle, which is what I'm going to try and do, and I'm going to show you guys some shots. Alright, hole 3. Distance on you just says like 159. I don't believe that. It's a little over 200, I think. Little dump hyzer. I usually take this little right side gap towards that sign and just let it dump in. Baskets right through those little trees where that V tree is across the street on the other side of those little bushes. It's like right there behind that tree. So let's throw some shots. Oh yeah, I'm gonna throw like a little dump hyzer with a heart. That's about perfect, about what you want. Soft hyzer. Hole 4 says it measures out at like 404 feet. I'm gonna let you guys see this little T sign here. That's what they say are the routes available. Yeah, I guess those are the routes available. There's a few little sneaky gaps to the right side if you wanted to take a hyzer route for a righty. If you wanted to go hyzer route over by the fence for a lefty, or just straight up the middle to the, in between that big tree and that skinny pole. So let's see what I got for this one. I'm usually pretty torn. Alright, hole 5. Last year this one was, or actually last year was the first year they moved this, that's right. But it used to be just on the other side of that split tree right there in the middle. It used to be just on the other side of that. It was really short, like straight shot. They've moved it just to the left. I'm not sure if you can see it in the, I feel like I can see it, but the sun's like right in my grill, as you can tell. But it's still a short shot. I'm not sure how far it is. It's probably about 240, 250, somewhere in there. Maybe a little bit shorter. But let's throw some shots on it. Hole 6, 295 is what it says on U-disc. There's no, there's a T sign that says 6, but it doesn't have the distance on it. It's off to the right side of that big bushy tree out there. Normally it's just right behind it. I don't think I've ever seen it in this position. So I'm just gonna throw the same shot I normally throw at it. Except for now I get to throw it a little low, because I used to just throw like a high stall shot up over that bushy tree and it was just right behind it. So I'm just gonna throw the same shot just straight at it. We'll see it. See if we can get one to go straight. That's about where the pin normally is where I landed. Let's see if we can get one to go through the basket. Again, park the other position. So upon further inspection, basket's actually pushed back a little bit further than the normal pin. This bushy tree right here is the one I was talking about. You can see my blue putter right there. That's exactly that's bullseye for the other position. And that one's pushed back a little bit. So this one probably plays about 307, maybe 310. Alright, hole 7 says 205, 207 or something like that. A lot of people will throw thumbers at this one, and some people would expect me to probably throw a thumber, but I actually just like this little dump hyzer around the right hand side, especially now that it's winter time. It's a lot less hairy on that right side for the hyzer shot now. It used to be a little bit kind of hairy. You'd have to keep it kind of low ceiling. So let's throw some shots on this one. Okay, hole 8, another little shorty. This one's less than 200. I think it's like 175, maybe 180. But the creek plays as OB. They'll have that marked off, and you can just see the basket right there over my left shoulder. I'm filming in selfie mode, so but yeah, I'm just gonna throw basically the same shot, just a little bit softer as I did on hole 7, and try and stay out of the water. We'll see what it looks like. hole 9. I think this one's even shorter, like 150 something feet. It's a little touch sidearm downhill. I'm standing off to the left side of the tee pad so you can see the basket, and I'm actually going to set the camera up off to the left side of the basket. You won't be able to see me throw, but you hopefully will be able to see where the disc lands. This one's also going to be a standstill. I'm going to throw like a little forehand standstill. You really don't want to go past the basket here because there's water behind the basket. That is OB. So this one's got sand like right around the basket. You can just hit there and just, it'll stop. Let's see it. Okay, hole 10. This is where the swampy area comes into play. If we get more rain, this will be the section where we start to cut holes out, I think. Anyway, but I'm going to play this one anyway. Hole 10, it's like 221 is what the U-disc says for the hole. And it's just a straight shot with like a little bit of hyzer finish. You can throw like your neutral, just straight putters. I'm actually going to throw like my super beat up harp and just try and throw it straight down the middle and hit the line. If that doesn't work, I'll throw a judge, but let's see what it looks like. Okay, hole 11 says 243, plays a little uphill. You're playing from this little decking here. I'm gonna try and set the camera up, but this thing's pretty bouncy, so camera may fall while I'm throwing. But anyway, I'm just gonna throw like, this is one of my favorite shots in disc golf, is just a nice little straight putter shot. So, let's see it. Nice little straight judge right up the middle. You're probably going to bounce around on this one. I can already see the camera bouncing. And you fell. Well, it was a really good shot. You didn't get to see it, but it was a really good shot. So you can see this is where I landed off of the shot that you guys fell off of the stand and went into the mud. Yeah, that was a good shot. Okay, hole 12. This one's 200 feet, plays a little bit uphill. There will be OB behind the basket. I'm pretty sure if they do it the same way they did it last year, like back into the woods, but this one's kind of a tough shot. I mean, it's a low ceiling, it plays uphill, and it plays advantage to a righty hyzer for sure, but it's really just like a little soft hyzer shot. So again, I'm gonna throw a harp, see what it looks like. That was close, mate. I was trying to run it. I mean, that one almost went in. Let's see if this one goes in. No, that one's not going in. a birdie. Okay, hole 13. It's downhill, it's a hanging basket. I'm usually not a huge fan of hanging baskets, but they secured this one really well where it doesn't swing too bad. It's definitely downhill. Probably plays like 240-ish, but I think the map says like 274 maybe, something like that. But I'm just gonna, it's placed so far downhill, might not be able to tell from the camera, but it plays pretty far downhill, so I'm just gonna throw like a 250-foot shot. Let's see what it looks like. Pretty good. Okay, so hole 14 plays a little uphill. Also, again, you're playing off of this little like decking type deal. It's a little bouncy, but it's not too bad for me. I don't mind it that much. But the basket is right here. You want to play this hyzer gap here to there. I'm just going to throw like a little basic harp again. Yeah, it's pretty much a theme here. I'll throw a lot of harps here. Let's see what it looks like. Yep, that's the tree that everybody dislikes very much. Okay, hole 14 says it plays about 338, or it says it measures at 338. Plays a little bit shorter than that, but it's downhill. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know if it does play shorter. If you take the low skipper route to the right side of this tree, then it does play a little bit shorter. If you go above that tree, I'd say it plays 338, maybe a little bit more. But yeah, I'm gonna throw a few different things at this. Most of the time, I still haven't really figured out. I'm not really comfortable with what to throw here. So let's see what happens. Try a little skipper out. So here's one of the skippers. Was a felon. Not too bad. About 35 feet. Maybe 40. Walking over a little bit closer. This was that first mid-range I threw. Inside the circle, definitely doable. I'd like to have a good putt on this one. This is acceptable. One of the Mavericks that was about 6 feet to the left of that first mid-range. And then the second one where I adjusted is inside of 20 feet. So, yeah. Okay, this is hole 16. This is from, I'm standing on the tee pad with my back towards the hole, obviously. I'm showing you the hole, obviously. So this one says 359, and you see the orange, well, let me get back in the shade. See the tree at the end of the tunnel, that orange paint is a Mando. So you have to go to the left side of that. And if you walk out, you can, God, I can't tell if you guys can see the basket. Yeah, you can see the basket, it's right there. It's out in that little field just past the shadow of the trees out in the open. Let's see what it looks like when I throw it. Alright, hole 17. Says it plays 370. We'll take every bit of 370. It's a pretty long one. This is one of the ones I'm kind of surprised there's not like a new gap staring me in the face with it being winter. But I'm going to try and go over the top of those bushy trees right there and try and land it next to the basket. Let's see how that works out. And you fell. Now you guys keep falling. Okay, here we are, hole 18. 483 foot. They call it a par 4. Not sure how he's going to set up the OB on the right side. Another volleyball court. There's going to be OB that's like over here on the, like right by that fencing. But yeah, the OB was pretty tight on the right side. He lays flags on the right side, and it was pretty tight last year. So I'm gonna throw a couple of layup shots, and then I'm gonna throw a couple of go for it shots. Also, with the swing changes, I'm not really feeling a whole lot like super comfortable with throwing power shots quite yet, but we'll see how it works out.
Satellites will make it as cheap to telephone Africa or Australia as to make a local call.
So as you can see, it's a pretty simple layup out here to get the 3. I think I'm probably about like 200 foot or so, and this way I can just throw like a nice controlled hyzer shot with a harp. So let's see what that looks like. Or you guys can just fall. Alright guys, that's Berkeley. I just played it. I think we're going to probably end up skipping those holes back there, like 10, 11, 12, or maybe like 10, 11, and 13 or something like that. It's going to be rainy, so that stuff gets pretty mushy back there. But I'm going to get a little bit of putting practice in before I leave, like just here on the practice basket. I didn't do any putting on the greens today. I'm going to spend most of the time tomorrow on the putting greens to get a really good feel and get comfortable on the greens. Kind of in a little bit of a rush today. I still have to get back to work. So with that, I'm going to do a little bit of putting, and then I will see you guys in the next video.